Hello, welcome to Nostalgia Pile, where we get around a microphone and talk about shows that we're watching together, like we used to in the old days.
Jordan gets around town.
My name is Jordan. I'm on twitch.tv/Kitsukatu. And that's it. Klidge, take it away.
Hi, I'm Klidge. I'm Klidge Radio. Welcome to the Nostalgia Pile. You can find me over on twitch.tv/Klidge Radio or youtube.com/Klidge. There's a high probability you're watching it on that right now. And Cam.
Hi, I'm Cam. You can find me at Anarchic Killjoy on Twitter and also Twitch, where I may stream at some point in the future. I will not say near.
And today we have hell yeah, you do need to stream more. I missed the Cam streams.
Oh.
Yeah, Cam, you need to
see you
stream
beat
more.
all of Crow Country again.
Or Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man, yeah. And today we have a very special guest with us. First time he's joined the podcast. You may remember him from the original podcast from years ago that we talked about way back in episode 1.
Hey man,
we have with us today.
Hey man, I'm gonna stop you right there. I was in the last episode.
No, you
right,
weren't,
the thing
was
that
it?
we recorded.
You had me
now
on.
You're ruining the
I was-
continuity because this will be released. This will be released before the last episode.
I think
Wait,
you're confused.
what? Why? Why would that?
Because
Oh my
last episode was a recap.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is all getting left in, by the way.
I forgot you mentioned it was a recap.
You
Yeah, it
fool.
was a recap, Jake. That's why I worded it and phrased it the way I did. But now that illusion's gone.
I wasn't-
I'm not editing it out.
I wasn't
Jesus.
given the heads up. Okay.
I told you last time, but that's okay.
Well, we told Jordan something last time, and we had to.
What are you talking about?
I'm not bringing that up.
We're not going to talk about anything. First off,
We're
I
not going to
set
talk
the
about
dates.
why we were recording
Okay.
late.
Now our millions of listeners. For
I
this
set the
episode
date,
are
and it
gonna
was my
wonder what we
fault.
were talking about.
So I'm sorry. It's fine.
It's okay.
Don't worry about it.
You
It's
didn't.
fine.
You didn't
We're-
look me in the eyes and apologize, Jordan.
I don't really need to apologize to you.
Damn.
I love you.
Yeah, we'll see.
We've ran into a setback on the recording time last time. I'm not going to go into any of the details. I'm not going to talk about what happened.
Yeah.
It's just, mistakes were made,
Mm-hmm.
and where we may be a little bit delayed on when this one gets recorded. And there's no one to blame. It just happens. Happens to the
Yeah.
best of us.
Happens to everybody.
Yeah, Jake had to be in Chicago. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to
Shut
say
the
whose fault it is, but
Yeah.
yes, don't worry about that. So today, we are going to be talking about this is kind of the finale. This is the last episode of what we were doing for this season 1 of actually reviewing the anime. You guys will get an episode next week or next 2 weeks from now, which is just talking about a recap of all the stuff that we had watched, what we liked, what we disliked, and just kind of shooting the shit with Jake a little bit, which will be kind of fun. And then we'll set up our new wheel, so stay tuned for that. But for now, we have to cover
Heavy
one,
hitter.
maybe, one of the heaviest hitters probably that we could possibly cover on this show. Neon Genesis Evangelion and its movie, The End of Evangelion. So let's start with Jordan. Do we want to like break down what the plot is real quick? Like a very loose plot?
Yeah, let's see. The plot, man, it's kind of difficult to nail down the plot, I feel like. We'll just say
The plot
young boy
is-
comes back to visit his father who wants him to get into a giant robot. And what ensues is probably some of the greatest sci-fi ever written, probably, also. And one of the, I felt, pretty philosophical, like, mental, lots of different isms coming out. It was...
Jordan's
I
a
don't even know.
wordsmith.
I don't know how to
There's a lot-
explain it.
there's
It is a lot. It was a lot. It was a
Many
lot.
isms that go on.
Yeah, many isms, many osophies, I guess, or ologies.
Several osophies.
Osophies, ologies.
A couple of philias.
Yep. But Mostly just a very, very well written science fiction plot from a perspective of a 14-year-old kid. Is he 14?
Yeah, for a 14-year-old boy.
Yep. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, essentially, God comes down and he's fucking pissed.
And this isn't Gurren.
This is not Gurren.
This is not Gurren.
This is, as you phrased it before, Gurren is the answer to Evangelion, which is the question.
Yes.
Which is a really interesting way of phrasing it. So, Jordan, what'd you think about
I thought
good old Eva?
I thought that Eva is I think Eva is a genre defining and honestly household mainstay of like anime in general. I think it is up there and it should be like, I don't know, at least top 10 on my anime list. I don't think it is, but if it isn't, that's a shame. I thought it was one of the best.
Currently being beaten out.
I thought it was one of the best things I watched, honestly, since fucking Gurren. And that's saying a lot for me because I fucking love it. And I really thought that I was going to be like completely broken after I watched it, which is why I avoided it for so long. But it didn't break me. It made me just ask a lot of questions to myself in general about my life, who I am, and what actually makes me me. And navigating all that, you know, not as a 14-year-old boy, but as a grown-ass man. So my heart feels for Shinji, though, that he had to figure all that shit out at the wee age that he did.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I loved it. I thought it was from start to finish. I kept saying this, but as I'm watching it, it was like they knew this shit was going to be a hit because of the way they like. There are just pauses for way too long for you not to think people are going to get this and they're going to respect it. But I can also see why people are like, this director's pretentious. and I'm like, yeah, I think he is a little bit at least, but I think he earned my respect.
I think if you only watch the main series and you watch that ending, you're like, this dude's a fucking douchebag.
Yeah. I mean, even in the...
Like, really?
I mean, even
it was just part of the reason why I said that we had to watch the movie.
Yeah, you kind of had to. I felt like if we didn't... I almost didn't, and then you realize... And then I watched the ending, and I was like, oh my fucking gosh, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then I watched the movie, and I was like, Jesus Christ. There's no way that
makes sense.
You could ever like put that into words. You just have to watch it.
Also,
it's hard to explain.
According to my anime list, this is number 231, so it doesn't even break top 100.
Neon Genesis isn't top in any factor.
I need you to remember how many people are like us, where they just know about Eva. They have a basic idea of what Eva is.
Yeah.
They think that the designs are cool, but they've never actually watched it.
But I respected it, knowing that if it's that popular, it must be good. You can't just...
But you're not going to rate something you've not watched, though, right? That's my point. It's like the
yeah,
people
I wouldn't.
you're
right.
only going to rate something if you actually watched it.
I wouldn't. You're right. Damn. Anyway, it's really good. What do you think, Klidge?
This is maybe the best anime I've seen in a very, very long time. I kind of went back and forth initially on my feelings on Shinji. I remember when I was first watching, I was like, this kid's a little fucking bitch.
Jeez.
And then you find out why he's a little bitch, and you're like, oh. He got
still kind of
trauma.
a little bitch.
Yeah. He's a little bit frustrating to deal with because it feels like he kind of loops back on the same problem several times as the show goes on. And like he'll go through these phases where he's got it solved, and then something happens like, I don't have it solved anymore. Well, no, I've actually got it solved. No, I don't have it solved anymore, which is like, real. It's annoying because it's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how many times you're just like, finally, I'm happy. Oh God, the depression's back.
It's funny to say, like, we all know people like that, and then sometimes we are those people. So
yeah. I mean, by the end of Eva, I was like, in a shocking turn of events, I ended up relating to Shinji a lot, which is upsetting, considering all the shit that little fucker goes through.
Yeah.
He goes through a lot.
He goes through a lot. Yeah. No, that series has such amazing world building and environmental storytelling all around it. The characters, like every single character, is pretty well fleshed out to a degree. I will say, like it's fleshed out if you're paying attention. If you're just kind of like watching it, you're like, I don't know what the fuck any of these characters are all about. Know what I mean?
Yeah, you
like,
have
there's
to.
A lot of,
you
like,
have to pay attention.
Yeah, it's they make it very, very not difficult, but like they demand your attention with this show.
Yeah,
that's maybe the way to put it.
I mean, it demands your attention, and then it commands it the entire time at the same time, which is not easy to do. I feel like.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, let's take a character like Asuka, for instance. If you just watch the show and don't read into anything that's happening, you'll think that Asuka is insufferable.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's just kind of like mean, she's arrogant, does whatever the fuck that she wants. She doesn't really care about other people aside from herself and Kaji. And she's kind of like that all the way up until even like the end of Evangelion, that final scene, where if you're just like kind of like taking everything at face value, like, oh, she's just a fucking bitch. And then you actually pay attention, like, no, she and Shinji are very similar in a lot of fucking ways, and they're essentially mirrors of each other. Where Shinji runs away from his problems, Asuka is constantly combating them in her own way. She's facing them head on, but too recklessly.
They're
so
fight and flight the characters.
Essentially, yeah, like they're on both ends of that spectrum. And so you feel more for Shinji because a lot more people relate closer to just like running away from your issues and being like, I'm not just going to ignore this. It's not an issue right now. Not my fucking problem. And Asuka is more like, I'm going to fucking deal with this, take care of it, and then get into it.
I'm going to curb stomp my problems.
Or get eaten by a bunch of mouth
seagulls. Bunch of Steven Seagals.
Yeah. And
that shit's brutal.
Just having... Yeah, that's a rough scene. That's a really rough scene. But yeah, just the imagery, how they feed you everything and all of that. Like, I've been going through this thing where I've been talking to people in my Discord and about Eva, and everyone is just either like, go watch Rebuild, it's a masterpiece, or I couldn't get into it. It just wasn't my thing. But 86 was great. And it kind of, I don't know. So I'm not going to get into this too much. We're going to save this for later when I get really mad. But just, just seeing people be
Why are
like,
Jordan's eyebrows twitching?
You've not heard me scream about 86, Jake.
I was there when the opinions were being formed. I watched them form live.
You watched them form live, but you didn't hear the aftermath after they were already formed.
After they were boiling for a while?
Chiseled.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. No, but it's just... It's really kind of, I don't know, it divides people into how they consume their media is maybe the way to put it. If you're going to look at those two in a box like that, on which is like the better show, I don't know. Let's put it like this. When I was yesterday out shopping in Sapporo, you could find Eva shit in every single store, even stuff that wasn't anime stores. There's not shit for 86. One of these two things is a lasting classic that people like. The other one is 86. Anyway, Cam, what'd you think?
Well, I know I gave a little bit of my thoughts when I recommended it initially for the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, as you've already said, it's a fucking masterpiece. It's beautiful. Just the art and like world design alone is just fucking top notch. Everything is so lived in yet so decrepit because of all of the wars. They do a really good job of that balancing act between people live here actively and this is an active war zone, which is terrifying because there are people who actually fucking live that. But between like that, the design on like the angels and like just the cinematography for a show from 29 years ago. Happy birthday, Evangelion, by the way.
Yeah, just real quick for people who don't know, we are recording this on that day, completely coincidentally. It's been 29 years since Eva aired.
Mm-hmm. But even for a show that's 29 years old, the cinematography, the design, the audio design are all like top of its class.
The irony of your mic kind of cutting out when you were talking about audio design.
No, I'm sorry.
I will say
okay,
there's one.
Okay.
Can I bring up a thing real quick about the audio
yeah.
design? This was like over a month ago now because we've been watching the series for a while because of a bunch of different stuff. There's I time stamped it in the so people can go back and they can listen to it. There is a scene of Shinji coming out of his mech, and it makes the Minecraft wooden door opening sound.
God damn
It does, yeah.
Oh my
Which
god.
I think it's episode 4. I'm trying to find out where the fuck it is. But yeah, god damn it, it was so fucking funny. Doesn't matter. Whatever.
It's like episode 3 or 4, I
this-
think.
It's episode 3 or 4. He gets out of the mech and it makes the Minecraft door opening sound. It's amazing.
You know when
Should just-
the giant Ray's neck splits open,
Mhm.
the blood spurts out. It actually makes the creeper hiss sound if you listen.
I hate you so much.
But yeah, no, it's like it is a lasting masterpiece. Like Klidge said, there's a reason that you can still walk into many stores and just find figures and prints of like the DVDs, whereas like a lot of stuff that people love, you can't get the DVDs anymore. Not Ava, that's not a problem, because people are still buying it.
Yeah. And there's like a level of that's just like it's still kind of around with like rebuild and stuff, but like rebuild has been going on for a while.
Yeah, a long
I
time.
mean, you have like a 30-year-old franchise. I mean, that you're still making content for. I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, even if you look at like the giants like Dragon Ball Z had a fucking content drought
they did,
for a
and they were
long
still pushing
fucking time.
shit. We were asking, we were begging,
Mm-hmm.
give us something.
And it's like
And they did.
Ava's on the other side of that, where like Ava also had a really long content drought, and it was still extremely popular. That's a good telltale sign of like something that's genuinely good and has made a long-lasting impact.
Yeah.
So something with that, just to maybe because people, I think a lot of people understand that like Eva is big, but I don't think they understand like how big. In Japan, at the very least. So last year there was this like marketing campaign going on for like the 4 big defenders of Japan. Now, who do you think the 4 big defenders of Japan are? Obviously, Unit 1 is one. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about this.
Goku.
Right?
Yeah,
Nope.
Probably Goku.
Godzilla,
Nope. Godzilla's one. Eva
Izuku
one.
Midoriya.
Nope.
Gundam would be
fuck,
my
All
other guess.
All Might. It's got to be All Might, man.
It's a Gundam,
Nope, it's
right?
not Gundam.
It's
but
a Gundam.
You're on. No, it's
not?
not a Gundam.
Oh, okay.
Think very Japanese.
Very Japanese? Like
Shin-chan.
Astro Boy or some shit. I don't know. Like very Japanese?
No. Think about something that didn't really take root in America, but is very popular in Japan.
It didn't really take root in America.
Yeah.
And what were the other two?
So you've got Eva. It's
Okay.
Eva, Godzilla, Ultraman,
Ultraman. Oh, the mech.
and I think
yeah.
I think Kamen Rider is the other one.
Oh, like the bike guy?
Yeah. Those are like the four defenders of Japan. And the fact that Eva is on that list when Eva is arguably like
The 4 Horsemen
the
of
most
Japan.
niche of those things. Because everyone in Japan watches like Kamen Rider as a kid because it's just like the Saturday morning show. Same thing with Ultraman. There's a lot of Ultraman movies and stuff. Godzilla is of course one of the biggest fucking franchises ever. And then there's Eva. And you're just like, huh.
Damn.
It's interesting. Just for a scope of how popular this is around.
That
Yes, Jake.
ending, like from beginning to end, like I started out thinking, damn, Shinji's a little bitch, and I kind of ended thinking, damn, Shinji's a little bitch, but boy do I understand. And just like Cam said, the art direction, like Cam witnessed my live reaction to that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was
And-
Jake.
There was physical, like, just flinching. There was just dumbfounded stares at what I was trying to comprehend. And
Just like Shinji.
There was, yeah. And I understood when he did that thing where he's looking down at Ray and just, or quote unquote Ray, and just doing the
Bro was tweaking.
yeah. Yeah, no. Everything from like him seeing Asuka get like carried away and fucking just everything, man.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot, and it's fucking
the
insane.
the music to it all, like that felt like a fever dream. It felt like I was slipping into something.
How about you, Jordan?
Yeah, bro. If we're gonna talk about like, let's see. I mean, the whole time during the show, I'm like, okay, we're doing Monster of the Week, right? Monster of the Week as like a bridge to tell the story about Shinji or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously they're doing world building amidst all that. My first impression is like, bro, where are all these angels coming from? I want to know more about like, you know, the second and, you know, the first and second impacts and things like that. And then we kind of get all of that. Like, if you just watch the show, you don't get like,
Yeah.
the end of Evangelion, like all those answers that you're waiting for, and they're like
Which I don't know if that's a
worms.
bad thing, but with the execution
I
of
kinda
it,
think
like
it's good because they
Yeah.
don't. The thing is like the show breadcrumbs you really, really, really well. Like you'll be like, what the fuck is that about? I want to know more. And then you'll watch another episode, and then they'll be like, we're gonna half answer this, half not, but give you another breadcrumb, and then you're constantly following these characters around up until that point, right? Like, I loved Masato and Kaji's relationship from like, you know, an outsider looking in, understanding there's a lot of shit that went down here, and we might not learn everything, but we're gonna learn something.
Yeah, but I mean, as far
And
as
then
everything, go ahead, finish your thought.
Yeah, no, just thinking that like the more that you spend trying to get an answer to another question comes up, and then the answers aren't all there at the forefront. You kind of have to make up your own opinion about it at the end of the day. Like it gives you, it's almost like fucking D&D lore. Like here's a world, and you know all worlds are true and canon. But when you're trying to interpret someone's feelings or thoughts, and you're not getting the full story, you kind of have to use your human intuition and put it on those characters. And that is a sign of a well-written character, that you don't have to lay out every single piece of like, this person is this way because this happened to them because, or blah, 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 blah. You kind of fill in the blanks yourself without the show having to do any work. And that's insane.
I like that this show and movie were like, instead of just like the generic, like I haven't watched anime in so long, except for like, you know, the few that I've publicly watched recently, but those are goofy. And they're goofy, but there's action, all that stuff. You get kind of like the whole roster of emotions. Evangelion felt like it just dealt with like this deep-rooted shame and like self-disgust and like the analyzing of yourself to an extent where I was just like, I didn't like some of the execution of it. Like the scenes where, you know, they're just kind of like hearing their own voice in their head and they just keep screaming like, oh, shut up, get out, stop it, whatever. It's like, I would have liked to see that executed in more of like, I don't know, just a better way than just listening to their own thoughts screaming at them.
I agree with you. I thought,
but sometimes that is what it's like, you know.
Yeah, no,
I was gonna say that I have gone through that exact thing on multiple occasions. Where
No,
it's just the voices in the head are actually so loud.
Your
that
inner monologue.
Just like stop talking, stop it.
I
had a
think
mental
they
breakdown in high school where that happened.
Yeah, I understand. It's like it's portrayed on a very real world level. I guess like the part of me that was just like, I'm watching an anime, wanted it to be like a little bit more theatrical, but I completely understand like where they were coming from with like depicting it like that.
Yeah, see, I prefer
just think they did it a little. I think they did it too many times for my liking. But I
that's
understand
fair.
why
I would
they
say
did
I
it.
prefer the down to earth
Yeah.
method of characterization
Yeah.
they choose to
'Cause I
go
think-
with.
I think everyone but Ray had like a scene like that, like, you know, of the like main four, but
Yeah.
I mean, Rey has her scenes where she battles with herself, but it's much more complicated because of what she is.
It's more subtle.
Yeah.
Like the glasses scene where she's like debating on whether she should break the glasses. And if you only watch the main series, that never really gets resolved. Like her coming to terms with that. But then they open the movie with like the glasses smashed. Like, oh shit.
Yeah. Well, her whole thing is just like her. Basically, like Gendo is, which is so fucked up, but like Gendo is essentially like her father. That's her creator. That's the one person in the world that she has. So like there's a really, really, really nice duality where her character shifts. Where very early on we're shown the scene where Gendo burns himself pulling her out of Unit 00. We get that same scene shot for shot recreated with Shinji pulling her out of Unit 3, whichever one it is.
Yeah,
she's in Unit
hers
0.
is Unit 0.
Yeah, pulling her out of Unit 0. Same shot for shot, just swap Gendo for Shinji, and that's when her characterization changes, and that's when she starts getting her conflicted feelings about Gendo. Because before that, she's super cold and nonchalant to Shinji, and prior to that, even like slaps him for talking bad about Gendo. Because that's why one of the things, like my biggest gripe, I guess, with when I hear people talk about Eva, is it seems like, from my experience, the biggest critique is always that it's too confusing.
I
It is
don't think
not
so.
that confusing.
It's not that
I don't
confusing.
think
They
so.
feed you everything you need to
Pay
know.
attention, yeah.
They feed you
It's
everything
not.
you
It's
need to
not
know.
upfront.
This is not Lane.
Yeah, it's
This is no Lane. I'll give. Lane. I'll give. They give you the information, but you need to like have a master's in psychology to be able to figure that out on a first watch with no help. Like Eva, on the very least, like everything that you need to know is given to you if you are just not browsing Twitter as you're watching or playing a game on the side.
Exactly.
Like if this is a very easy show to like just have on in the background because there's a lot of cool visuals and things going on, but if you're not paying attention. Like I kind of just come to the realization I just hate shows that are just like blatant like this is how it is. This is where everything is, and we're just going to tell you everything it is because you're a
Expo
stupid
dump.
fucking idiot. You don't you're a dumb child. We're going to make sure that you understand exactly what's going on. The message is that this thing bad, but these people good because they the good, but the bad bad is bad. We put big red X on bad. You can tell they bad cuz they talk bad.
Someone help Klidge. He's gonna get stun locked.
yeah, but essentially it's like
I'm going to get mad.
they will feed you
Like-
all of the info, all of the lore, all of the characterization that you need to understand the series. None of it is like slipped quietly into the background. None of it is like, oh well, we had this happen off screen and you just kind of have to figure it out. It's all there. They give you everything you need. There's no reason why, if you are paying attention, you should come out of Eva being like, I don't understand.
No. I want to
You can
say
be questioning some things, but if you don't understand the plot or like what the fuck happened, I'm going to be like you weren't
Yeah.
actually watching the show.
I want to say that to kind of add to that, like the end of Evangelion, I mean, even goes even further to be like, let me explain what happened in that last 2 episodes, where you're like, okay, I mean, I can kind of figure out. I mean, like they're obviously saying it out loud, like this is the Human Instrumentality Project. This is what you wanted. This is what you asked for, right? And then you kind of get, I mean, Shinji is a vessel for all of the things that like we could actually feel as human beings, like. Getting close to someone and having relationships will bring you great joy and great pain, but that is the nature of human relationships.
That's why it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a wonder that anybody is able to communicate, but we do, and that's the indomitable human spirit, baby. Woo, let's go, right?
Yeah, it's the overall message is so good of Evangelion, which is that things suck. We are in the worst possible situation that we could be in. God is trying to kill us. He's pissed, and we actually don't know if he's sending the angels, but it's just like they're showing up to get their dude back because we've been fucking with it. And they're mad about it, and now everything's gone to shit. And we can solve this in the one of 2 ways, which is where we can either go to the party where everybody's invited, or we can all just kind of stay the same and accept the fact that yeah, things can be bad, but things can also be good. Now, do you want to take the good with the bad? Is that worth it? I mean, that's kind of the cool thing with like the instrumentality thing. Like, the concept behind that is that, um, so okay, does anybody have anything else to say so I don't jump right to the very end of Evangelion?
I want to talk about the end, so I'm good. I'm ready to talk. That's the thing I want to talk about the most.
I will say just like one thing real quick just for like people at home to explain very briefly, because it's another thing that people are always really confused about, is like what the impacts were. Because the first impact was Adam and Lilith being sent from an ancient civilization as meteors, essentially landing on Earth, and that what do you call it, like hit, that impact creates the moon.
That was the first impact.
Yeah, that impact creates the moon. That is the first impact. The second impact was when Misato's father and his organization tried to merge bioorganic DNA with Adam, causing an explosion, which is she was the only survivor from that. That was the second impact.
Yeah, melted the ice caps
yes.
and it flooded
Threw
a lot
off
of the world.
Earth's magnetic field, so our weather is fucked.
And third impact is an angel.
You should mention that
Oh, go ahead.
You should mention that humans are descended from Adam directly.
Humans are from Lilith.
Lilith, right? But that's a concept in actual science called panspermia, which is that humanity and all life on Earth originated from outer space hitting the planet, and then like from bacteria, and then that bacteria evolved over thousands and thousands of years. So this is taking that concept to another level where it's only humans that originally came from Lilith, right? Not animals.
Yeah, just humans.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
that means there's already bacteria here, and then they just got fucky. Okay.
Yeah, and then third impact didn't technically. No, you're good. Third impact didn't technically happen in the original series. That was something that was about to happen. That was orchestrated by Seas, I think. Or if it did happen, it was because one of the Evas merged with Adam, I think.
I think in the original series, I think it does happen because, I mean, just to kind of touch on the end, I think episode 25 and 26 happen like in this weird in-between spot in like the end of Evangelion, like the movie.
I think it just happens in a very, because you see when they get back on the Earth, you're like, oh, it's all fucked.
Yeah.
But it's not gone, so that's good. But it's definitely something was about to happen, or it got very close to happening, I think.
Yeah. I have my own theories about what that was about.
Oh, it was Kaworu merging with Adam is what it was.
That was the third impact.
It did actually
that
merge.
was the third impact because it needed an angel to merge with Adam, which he technically, I guess, was an angel, but he was Adam's soul. The same way that Rey is partially Lilith's soul, but also has Shinji's mother's DNA.
Which is so fucked.
Oh,
yeah.
That actually fucked me up. I said, wait, Rey's his mom. Gendo, you
and a real fucked up way.
Dog. You're a fucking
I feel bad
monster.
Because I knew that going into the series.
Man, that fucked me up.
That was something that it would have been a more impactful reveal. Get it? Impact.
This guy.
It would have been a more impactful reveal if I hadn't known that, but because this is a 29 fucking year old series that's still popular, obviously some stuff's gonna like slip through the cracks.
That shit was fucked up, man. I was like, oh my god. No, like seriously, like
no, it is.
Like Shinji, like bro, Shinji is like, you kind of remind me of my mother. You have mother's hands, and she's like, oh, I do. And he's like, what makes you say that? He's like, I don't know. And that just fucked me up.
They're my mother's hands.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this man, Gendo was like, I am so depraved. I am so depraved. I love you,
I want
Yui.
to clone a child to marry.
I also want to add, because it's another thing
Don't
people are
take that out of
confused about,
context.
is I've seen a lot of people be like, why the fuck was Kaworu able to control Evas? And it's because their Evas also are made of Adam.
Yeah, they are artificial
that's
humans.
explicitly
right?
said.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah, but people don't.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people not grasp that, where they're like, "Well, why could he?" And it's like, because he is Adam, and so are they.
Yeah.
I like
you just
how
can't like full control them because they're also part like
He can't control
Part human.
one or two. He can't control Shinji's or
Yeah.
Asuka's because they have Shinji's and Asuka's mothers in him respectively.
so
Fucked
fucked
up.
up.
I thought he did control Unit 2 at one point.
No, he
Briefly.
couldn't take full control.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
But like Unit 0 and all of the other like American ones and stuff, he can control just fine.
I get you.
so fucked. Gendo knew what he was doing, but damn, bro. I don't know.
Dude was,
I
yeah,
also
dude was fucked up.
I think the biggest question I walked away with, and I know we're kind of just like sporadically going at this, but it's just
That's what
it's
this is all
fine.
about,
I
man.
think it's
That's what this
fine.
podcast is for.
Fucking Sela,
Yeah.
the shadow government or whatever.
The Shadow Government.
Shadow
don't-
Wizard Money Gang.
Yeah, they were probably, to me, I love like behind the scenes shadow operations, like we're doing something and nobody knows, and conspiracy basically, right?
You love the
Yo,
Agency,
who the
don't you?
fuck were they, bro? Like, I still don't think I got that question answered. Like, I knew that they were controlling Nerve and Gendo to some extent, and that they might have been like the powers that be, but they knew so much. They knew so much. And
I think that there's supposed to be a play on the Majestic 12, which is a UFO concept of like, you know, people who work behind the scenes in the government, but actually kind of pull all of the strings for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
that the main public isn't prepared for.
Yeah.
You can tell me if I'm right on this or not, Cam, because you know you got the knowledge on this.
So Seal technically, they are
Seire.
well. So their name is based off of the German word for soul, which is Seele.
Wait. Am I correct with assuming that from the third movie, the 2012 one,
We haven't seen it.
that
I haven't
okay,
seen
then
that
I'm
one.
not going to say it then.
Yeah.
Because I think I know where you're going.
Seal is essentially like the Illuminati in this universe,
Okay.
where they've been around as far as like we can tell, because most of it we don't know, because that's their
But
thing.
somehow
They've been
but
around since
Gendo
ancient
was-
times, and they
but
control the United Nations entirely.
okay, but Gendo was like put in charge of Nerve for some reason based
Yeah.
on the
He was a
UN's,
pawn.
like yeah, but obviously Gendo wasn't there. He knew he was a pawn, but he wasn't a pawn.
Yeah,
Right?
essentially.
So Gendo was kind of like the worst and the best, because I have mixed feelings about Gendo. Like, I get like wanting to protect your children and shit like that, like, and I get like doing whatever it takes, even if it means like, oh, I have to disown you to protect you or some shit like that, right? Or if you're not gonna do what I say, then get the fuck out of here, kind of thing. I totally get it. But half the time I was like, is Gendo like, it's like obviously he loved Shinji's mom, but did he love his son at all? Like, I don't know. I really don't.
I don't think so.
Like, I think he
once
did, but I don't think he
lost-
did.
Once Shinji's mother died, I think that was all Gendo cared about. I say think. We know. That's all he wanted.
Yeah.
Was everything that he does was to kickstart instrumentality so he could be
So
with
he
his
could
wife
be
again.
with Yui. Yeah.
But
He's so
You
broken.
love
with
him, wife.
with him and with the fuck is their name? Fuyutsuki. Their thing was essentially we're going to start the instrumentality and use Evas to ride out the third impact, so that we can come back
Yeah, well-
afterwards. But with Seal, that's something entirely different. That's fucking Persona.
Seire.
Seal. With Seal, their whole thing was they don't want instrumentality to end. They want to kickstart it, and they want that to be what humankind is from then on.
They want it to be the end of it. They
Yes.
want us to. I mean,
Everyone should be one together.
I mean,
That's a terrifying concept that I do.
it
not
is a
like.
terrifying.
It's what.
It is terrifying, but it also sounds so. I feel like the concept of being being able to communicate with everybody or like feel what everybody feels is of something that everyone desires. I think we would love to.
No.
You don't think so? I think that
Absolutely
I
not.
think that
varies
anyone,
person to
I think
person.
I'm talking
That
about
is-
like loving. I'm talking about loving another human being. Like if you love another human being and you want to know the inner workings of that person, I understand. Like
don't.
not everybody, but at least like I don't know, with like your partner or somebody like your friend, like you want to feel what they feel so that you can best relate to them. If you're an empathetic person, like I'm a very empathetic person, so I would be. I considered myself like. I mean, if I had the opportunity to learn what somebody felt without losing myself, then yeah. But the problem is that I would lose myself.
To that extent,
I don't like
though,
that.
is
Yeah.
so that to that extent is horrifying beyond comprehension. But
I mean, you losing who you are for the sake of just not feeling anything ever again.
and then turning into Sunkissed.
Yeah. I mean, at least
Yeah.
you'd be tasty.
Yeah, Seal just wants everybody in the primordial soup forever. That's all they
Why
want.
did they want us to die so bad? Like, I mean, was
They
it
don't
really
want us
so
to die.
bad?
They view it as it's the idea behind
It's a
that
new
is that
age
if
of life.
everybody is united into one, yeah, it's you all become one giant living organism and you eliminate suffering, you eliminate
Yeah.
all problems, and it's like the fucking businessman's way to say I have the perfect idea to solve world hunger. What if everybody was a giant hive mind organism that didn't have to eat and we all knew what each other thought, so we could we as the hive mind could make decisions on like how to solve each other's problems. But then you're also everybody when you're not an
But you
individual,
don't have
and
problems.
it's perfect.
Yeah, and then
Exactly.
I mean, it's basically
you
getting
never have
rid of.
any issues.
I mean, it's basically an extinction event. It's like we're all better off
It
dead.
is.
Is basically what they were saying. And like,
Again, it's the businessman's answer. It is the best way to solve the problem in the most efficient way possible. However, it doesn't take into account the emotions or the individuals who will be affected by
Yeah.
it. They don't care about that aspect.
people who don't want to lose their self, or honestly, because at the end of Evangelion, it's like. Actually, no one gets to choose whether they're going to will themselves back or not.
Right, and that's
And
the
I'm
that's
like,
the thing.
holy
Is like
shit.
who are these motherfuckers to make the decision
Yeah,
that
for everybody.
should be in the soup forever? It's like, can you imagine being like a fucking like an 8-year-old in Arkansas just playing soccer, and all of a sudden you have the thoughts of every person in the entire on the planet in your own brain?
Man,
That's a horrifying concept.
it is horrifying. I don't know.
And yeah, it's
Good thing we didn't talk about this last Saturday, Jordan.
I mean, I just think that.
Right.
I just think that like. Man, we could just talk forever about this, and I'm sorry. I just
No,
feel
I like this territory.
No, I
we're
just
in right
feel
now.
like the idea of being able to understand another human being is something that I would love to do that thing, but I wouldn't want to. I don't know. You guys are saying no, but I'm like, I don't know. I have a
Book
desire
my
to
body.
understand other people. I
Jordan,
don't
can
know.
I-
That's just
Can
me.
I like it?
Go
Can I,
ahead.
like put you in? Can I like give you some insight into me as a person, real quick?
But you don't
So
like
I am,
people.
to a degree, I'm terrified of death, not because of like the removal of myself or like whatever comes next, but because if there is an afterlife, I'm terrified of whatever that entails.
Well,
Like,
isn't
you're
that
not
I
what's
yourself
don't
anymore?
next?
find the idea of heaven comfortable. I don't find the idea of hell comfortable. Neither of those two things I've take any comfort in regardless, because both are a hell in their own making in my brain. Like they don't vibe with how I am as a human being. They don't vibe with my personality.
Let's dive into the religious trauma, baby.
Is it because like
I don't particularly care for the concept of eternal servitude, nor do I particularly care for the concept of eternal damnation.
And what if
those
it's
are my
like a
two options?
purgatory?
I'm just kind of fucked.
What if
Know
you're
what I
just
mean?
well, yeah, and then what if the third option is just nothingness? You're just I'm around.
Which I'm also not a big fan of.
I mean, what would
It's
But
a
if you can't
lose-lose-lose
would you
situation.
just
if you
like
can't
to-
perceive nothingness, like
I mean,
I enjoyed the process of existing, Jake.
Yeah,
but that's the
once
thing. You're not even gonna. I mean, you might not know
I mean,
that you stopped.
again,
Well, that's the
like
thing is I want to continue to enjoy the process of existing.
Yeah, I get that. Jordan, what were you saying?
I was just thinking, if I don't know. You're bringing up a lot of feelings about death.
Jordan,
that's
that
for sure.
damn beautiful smile always.
Oh God, I hate you
tongue
so
tied.
He does have a
much.
beautiful
God,
smile.
stop.
Look at
Anyway,
Jordan, man.
fucking, I don't know. I've thought about it a lot too. Like the notion that one day I will not exist and things will cease for me as a human being, and time will go on or whatever. Right? I'd like to think that there's like something nice on the other side. You know, I don't know. Like Judeo-Christian, they say that Jesus has a house prepared for you, right? And I don't look at it as servitude, praising or whatever. I think like maybe I will be like, oh, thank God, like I'm living in my own personal heaven that has been constructed for me, and whatever my soul views as good to it, or maybe my existence today says my heaven is sitting in my house all the time playing video games with my friends. What if I do that for eternity? And that's just the thing I enjoy the most.
For me, the horror is trying to grasp the concept of eternity.
It's fucking yeah. I mean, like you as a human being, from the moment you're born, you are going to die. There's an overwhelming sense of I need to protect myself from all things bad because I do not want to die. The fear of death is like.
I was born.
I mean, but it's like
in third grade and I had a panic attack.
Okay, that's fine. That's kind of scary too. But I'm just saying, there's an instinctual like preservation factor for all human
Klidge
beings.
was the snowman from Smiling Friends.
But it is like frightening to think, because we know that we're not here forever. We're going to die. We can't escape that.
Yeah, maybe you
But
fuckers.
by God, if I'm not going to try,
Did
I'm
Jake
immortal
just say,
until
yeah,
something
maybe
happens.
you, but
Yeah.
not
I'm
me.
gonna go merge with Adam.
I don't know, bro. That shit all scares me. Anyway,
Yeah, it does.
I do want to say that the end of Evangelion, when the fucking song started, my ass. Okay, hold on. First, wait. The first 5 fucking minutes into that movie, I was like, Shinji!
I think it's tumbling.
Shinji, what the fuck are you doing?
He's jacking off to Asuka's tits. What do you
said-
mean? What is he doing? He
No,
knows
I
exactly what
I
he's
missed
doing.
that on first go.
I said,
I had to
Shinji.
rewind when Jordan started talking in chat about like that opening scene, and
I
then
said-
Cam was like, yeah, it's jarring.
I said, Shinji. God damn it. She can't
He's a
even.
14-year-old
She
boy.
can't even slap you, man. It's like different. That's freaky.
Yeah, like it's definitely fucked up, but like I said,
Oh my
in
god! I mean,
the
I
chat,
get it, but
yeah, it's like
I
he
didn't
has
get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't.
he has
I-
lost himself. He has regressed. He has had nothing but loss and fear and just overwhelming nothing that I thought is real. Essentially,
God.
his ego has shattered. His mentality is shattered. His ego's not shattered yet, but his mentality, him as a person, has broken.
And we all feel that way after we're done.
And he is
We're
regressing.
low.
Yeah, he's
We're
regressing
depraved.
to our
The lowest of
lowest
the
Jordan,
instincts.
get the
Just like our
step the fuck
self-preservation,
back.
you also have the instinct to procreate.
Reproduce.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in
I prefer Clip
seeing
Studio.
shut the
Shut
fuck
the
up.
hell up.
Yeah, in seeing the boobs of the one person that he actually genuinely really likes, it just happens. And you can see in how he reacts afterwards that he looks at it and he's like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, we're
Yeah,
all.
that post-nut clarity sure is clarifying.
No, we're all fucked up. I get it.
So
was
I
just
hear
like,
Deja
damn, we
giggling
are
downstairs.
fucked up. We were so. I was like looking at that and I was like, we've all had moments like that, man. But that was. I was like, yo, holy.
Oh yeah, where you
shit.
look at where you look at your hand and you look at what the fuck you were jacking off to, and you're like, what
and I
is
said,
this?
Well, I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
That's a lot.
No,
of
we've all
tentacles.
been
That's a
there.
lot
I
of
was just
tentacles.
surprised that it was. I was like,
I'm not hopping
yo.
into this one, boys.
Anyway,
Why is
You
she?
you have
Yeah.
a fun ride.
anyway, moving on from that, I was just like, Jesus Christ, that's crazy, Shinji. But the last 20 minutes of Evangelion, where
We need to talk about that for sure.
we're sitting there, everything that I've learned up to this point, I'm like, okay, I'm mentally prepared for basically like
no.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, right? I'm mentally prepared for this to be the final brawl between, Seal and fucking Nerve and Gendo's final fucking project and what Ray actually is to all come to this head, right? the goddamn symbolism of like him being fucking essentially crucified midair.
Oh my god, yeah, when it lined up.
Between basically Nephilim and standing in the air as humanity becomes what it seems to be its final moments. And this goddamn song is playing in the back of basically the back
This
of my
fucking
head.
soul,
Like,
this soul music is playing.
yes, it's playing in the back of my head, and I'm seeing people give like monologues, and there's Japanese people in the theater with Ray
Yes.
Fumos holding shit. My brain,
Ray Fumo.
Look, this is me. I don't even know what day it was. It was a day when I was remote, and I was just watching it. And I had to stop, like, I was, like, looking over and, like, making sure and taking moments. But then the last 20 minutes, I was like, okay, so all that happened. And then I was sitting there, like, this the whole time, like,
Yeah.
20 minutes straight of me just going, what the fuck?
Yeah, for you on Spotify, he's holding his head, he's holding his temples and his he's
It looks like he's trying
doing
to-
that you know
he's trying to shoot
that meme
lasers.
of that meme of Syndrome where he's like, you dense motherfucker. He's making that exact pose.
Dude, I was in genuine awe of not just like what the fuck is happening, but also these motherfuckers at Gynax talented as fuck. I know my boy Imaishi got some goddamn frames on that shit because I was sitting there like, there is no other person on this planet that draws shit like that. Where I'm like, I don't even think I blinked. I was like in constant awe.
You got locked in.
I was just absolutely
kinda how I
thrown,
was.
bro.
You see,
I was like, God
that
damn.
was the moment I realized that this is a fucking masterpiece, because then that they knew it was a masterpiece.
They
They're like, all right.
knew.
They knew it. They're like,
They're
all
like,
right,
we can just do whatever the
did
fuck
it.
we want. I mean, at that point, they were like, let's just. I mean, there was just so much imagery that didn't, like, you can't put to words that the human language
very
can't
hard to
describe.
describe.
Yes, the human language can't describe what imagery was in front of me because I was witnessing something
schizophrenia?
so. I mean, like, not even that. That's not even. I feel like that's still not close. I felt like I was like going to heaven. I felt high and I wasn't. Like, I legitimately, I was like, am I on like a different planet right now? Like, because this is insanity. So fucking good. So good. God.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of thing.
Yeah. My name's Jake. I don't like anything. I won't be.
You know,
I won't
it's
be dying
just
today.
it's just like Risk of Rain too, man. It's just not. It's not for me.
Holy
I
shit!
hate
This
you
is
so
Risk of
fucking much.
Rain. This is Risk of Rain too, bitch.
Jake,
I was
don't make me
screaming
pull
at
up
the
your
top of my
hours.
lungs. This is evil,
That,
bitch.
shut up, man. You damn ass cretin.
Y'all. But yeah, y'all tell me,
Yeah.
bro. Where were y'all at? Because my ass was on the moon. I was like, yo.
I thought it was fantastic. Like, I had the moment where, like, in that scene where, like, they're in the movie theater and it's going by, and then all of us, then like all the way up until the end where it like clicked in my head, like, it makes sense now. The last because it's so funny. When I was watching the original series, I made it up to episode 24 and I was really enjoying it. And then I sent a message in the chat being like, "Look, this is a 10 out of 10. Unless something happens in these next 2 episodes that fucks it up and makes you feel weird about it,
Yep.
it's a 10 out of 10. And then the last 2 episodes of the main series is some fuck shit that makes you be like, what the fuck did just happen? And it really doesn't make too terribly much sense. That part I will give people is kind of confusing if you don't watch the movie where it gets contextualized. So I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but like those last 2 episodes, the way how I read them. Now I did some research afterwards, and there was like it's apparently its own ending, like it's its own thing on its own.
Yeah.
But the way how I read it and the way how I process it, which is also apparently taken as another potential thing, is that those are the moments that happen to a person when they're like inside the instrumentality project.
Essentially, yeah.
Like they're actually like as a part of the whole thing, which is why you can see and experience all these other people's like point of views and stuff. And they touch on some of those scenes too in End of Evangelion. And then him getting the big congratulations at the end is him being like, I've figured out who I am. He becomes sole bad guy. I know who I am. And then
who I am.
yeah. And then he emerges from the LCL fluid onto the beach. And so far, the only other person who's managed to do that is also Asuka, who you also see kind of go through a similar thing. And it can be assumed that she also went through and had her Omedadol moment as well. And the implication of that is that everybody who kind of like died in the instrumentality thing or before it, like I don't know, did you guys catch the did you see it moment in the movie with Masato? Any of you guys get that? That like right when the place where Masato's corpse is about to explode, for a singular frame, Rei is there.
Yes, I saw that. And I was
so,
like, did she save Masato or what happened? I didn't know. It didn't.
And what that implies is that Masato, like, I mean, everybody gets turned into the LCL stuff, but that Masato, before she died, kind of like with what's the blonde doctor's name?
Ritsuko.
Ritsuko, yeah. Same thing with her, where Rei showed up. Is that they get put into the instrumentality thing, like kind of beforehand. So if they want to, they can have their Omedadol moment too, and then reemerge from the fluid, which I think is kind of what happens with is like something to do with how rebuild is, but I could be wrong about that.
Also,
but, like, I got to the end of Eva and I was like filled with hope. Like, okay, the world is fucked, and the people who want to be like fucked up can and like be a part of a singular giant organism, they can do that. But the people who want to retain their individuality are very clearly being able to emerge from it. Even if it's just these two, there's the implication that more people could do it if they wanted to, which is kind of like a really, really cool idea.
They wanted to.
I fucking loved it. I adored that ending. I thought that was so fucking good. And you scared me, Jordan, because your ass was just like, I'm scared, I'm sad, I don't know what the fuck's happening. And I was like, oh, what the fuck is gonna happen?
No. I was scared. I was sad. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I was mostly sad. I want to say this. Masato did not deserve to go out the way she did. And if she made it back, that's great. That's great. But the way... Fucking Shinji, little bitch, get up, dude. Get the fuck up. I was like, please get up, dude. Like, this woman is begging you. I mean, I get it, bro, but I have been broken, and I have had people go, you need to get the fuck up. And I go, you're fucking right, man. I gotta wake up. I gotta get up. I gotta do it. Like,
He's
Masato was constantly...
and everybody hates him.
Dude. We all have been 14 and thought the world was against us.
But the world was against him. Yeah. That's the difference. The world is actually against him.
I'm sitting there like, dude, I'm Shinji. You're a dog, bro. He's a dog in the Eva. He might be the best Eva pilot out there. I was like, you're a dog in the Eva, dog. You need to get the fuck up. Go save your girl.
There's only 3 of them.
Your girl's fighting for her life. She getting eaten by angels, man. That shit's fucked. You better get up. Masato did not deserve to die, so you could just sit there going...
Asuka in that scene where she's killing the angels, she's like, I've got it. I've figured it out, is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Y'all who are on... y'all can't see this who are watching, but I did buy I bought an Asuka figure. I was going to buy a Masato figure, but they don't fucking sell them.
No, Asuka was absolutely clutch in that moment. It's only a shame that Shinji didn't get up.
The scene of her getting totally fucked up by the Spear of Longinus.
Mm-hmm.
That scene is just so fucking cool too. Mm-hmm. Like those just 5 seconds of animation.
Yeah.
Peak.
I knew those existed too because people replicate that in so much media because it's such a good shot.
Yeah.
Also, she gets up. She gets up after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, Asuka is goated from here on out.
Mm-hmm. And that's why that's my decision on why I like her more than I like Rei. Not that I dislike Rei, I just like Asuka more.
No, Asuka earned... I mean, Asuka always had my respect because I think I could relate more with Asuka than I could Shinji in different moments where I'm just like, yeah, my problems are problems, but, I don't really need to deal with them. I just need to keep living for myself and doing shit by myself and just doing it for me. And I've been there for sure, way more often than, actually in the throes of my own depression. I've definitely been Asuka where I'm just like, I need to get the fuck over it.
Shirt I'm wearing today.
Oh my god.
Transgender by choice.
American by
Transgender by the grace of God, not choice.
Oh my god.
I had to wear that
That's an
today.
amazing shirt.
That's amazing. I love that. But yeah. No, Asuka for sure had my respect and earned it even more in that moment. I was like, you are so cool. And now it makes me want to go watch all the other movies with her with the eye patch, because I'm like, that's
I
hype.
do plan on watching Rebuild.
We're gonna put that on the list.
All right,
I
movie
think
on the
that's
list,
what we
baby.
should do. Is we should put that on the list to talk about it again, and then reinvite Jake.
Yeah. But
Yo,
man,
someone sent me an invite.
sorry, I'm in the bathroom, getting in Arizona,
Yeah,
taking
we gotta
a
go
taking a
pee.
pee.
Drinking
Wait, did you
Arizona
get the
as you
invite?
pee so that it just
feel like
keeps
this
going
is-
through.
Huh?
Aimed at someone.
I feel
You
like
gotta
it is.
medicate.
I feel like it might be. Not sure who.
Hey Jake, what do you think about the end of Evangelion? Those last 20 minutes.
Those last 20 minutes.
Yeah, while the party that everyone's invited to happened.
I was kind of like stun locked when
Yeah.
he started choking Asuka.
Dude, yeah.
I was like, oh, is he gonna? And yeah, I was
Which time?
the one where they were like, he
Are
says
they
like
in the,
no
in the kitchen
beach?
or on the beach?
in the
No,
kitchen, in the
I'm-
kitchen.
Oh, really?
The one on the
Okay.
beach where she reaches up and touches his face. I was just like, oh no, oh no, bro.
I was so. I was there with you, Jake. I was sitting there like, oh my god, this nigga's
But
gonna
hey,
hurt the only. Oh, I just said the N word. I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh my god! Oh no!
Oh,
Hey, it got a beach episode.
no.
It's an anime with a beach episode.
Oh my god, that moment in the basically, I guess the dream instrumentality portion where he's having like a conversation with Asuka. I feel like he just can't get through his feelings to her, so he's like, I'm just gonna end you. And I'm like, I don't know. That was weird. I was like,
I get it, because if you read that scene as someone just like, why are you not willing to help me? Why are you just being an asshole? I just need you to like help me out with this. And he goes back to, it's just, again, he's ego broken. So all that he has left is his id. And what your id tells you is, me am mad because you am not help. Me am
The
now
id.
try and kill you. You are, if you're not with me, you're against me. And because now I'm lowbrow fucking Shinji-kun, I'm gonna fucking just get your ass.
yeah.
Like, why are you always like this? Why can you not just help me?
But he did it again in real life.
Well, that's the thing, is he didn't have a process, like he wasn't able to process reality at the very end, which is why he went to go do it again. It's like, you're the bitch who won't help me. We're giving me my fucking money, choking her out.
Gotcha. I was
And
like,
then
man.
the realization that he's out of it because she does reach out and like touches his face, being like, "It's okay, I'm here. It's gonna be okay." And then it's just like, watch. I don't know. I do think that them ending with her calling him gross is an interesting choice, but
Yeah.
it's very in character.
When
Yeah,
she
it
says
is
Like
to,
that's how she
Was
expresses.
it disgusting
yeah,
or
disgusting.
gross?
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Because like
can
I've
be
heard
interpreted,
some
yeah.
I've heard some people interpret that on like a much more analytical level, where they're
What else could
This is
she
how she
possibly
processes
mean?
that
I
kind of
mean, like
stuff.
outside of like, oh, I know what you did to me.
like I've heard people have like takes on it, like as like a whole reflection on humanity and all that shit. And the last word uttered being disgusting.
Well, at that point, she's
yeah.
accepted Shinji, and I feel like there's two main ways to like read it, and it's either that Asuka finds Shinji's action is disgusting, or because she feels like finally accepting someone, which is weird and foreign to her, is disgusting to
Yeah.
her. I feel like those are the two main ways to read.
I feel
that.
like I like the latter one. Because
I like Asuka. She's cool. She gets an A+ in my book. Great character. Because that's the thing. So I mean, the Nikkei had an Evangelion collab not too long ago, and it kind of opened up a lot of people to how like all these characters in kind of a different like light, I guess. Because Nikkei is cool. It tries to take like the source material and like be kind of true to it to a degree. but either it reignited discourse from people online being like, why the fuck do people like Asuka? I'm like, you need to watch the fucking series. You need, if you just like, again, if you just take her actions at face value, then she's a bitch.
Yeah.
If you understand why she's like that and understand that she's really just kind of like scared and just looking for someone to love her back to a degree, like there's a lot more to it than that, but you know what I mean.
I have a question. Lots of people like to give Masato a lot of shit for her actions during the entire thing, and I don't know where
this.
this.
Talk about the allegations.
Yeah, and I mean, like, except for that last moment, but I mean, she almost like knows she's gonna die, but I don't get it. I don't know.
Okay, so with Masato, and they talk about this at length with her in the show, is like that's her way of like expressing herself is through like
Her sexuality.
Arata says sexuality.
It's not even necessarily expressing herself. It's how she copes.
Yeah,
that's how she does things. And so she
any affection that she can get from anyone, she's like, yeah, I mean, but that's not an allegation. Not, I mean, you know what I mean. I'm trying. I was trying to put one and one together. I'm just like, okay, so she.
It's just Twitter. It's Twitter.
I'm sorry. Okay, that makes sense because I was sitting there like, what the fuck did Masato do? She seemed like a normal person the whole time.
No, I'd say she still is. It's just like it's just like, how she deals with those kinds of things. I mean, like she knows like this is the only way I know how to deal with this kind of a situation, and so I'm going to do it that way. It's not. I think that people.
Sorry, I was also thinking that like, what is everyone's deal with this character?
I mean, we could be completely
the entire 26 episodes, and
4 men,
like,
but I don't see what the fuck is wrong.
But yeah.
Again, it's people who haven't watched the series or don't like are only watching it like without thinking. I guess the best way to put it. They just watch the series and accept what's being showed to them as absolute fact, and so they see a woman kiss Shinji and then they're like it's like, okay, do you understand why that happened? Do you understand that? Hey, do I have my car keys? Here, pay attention. Do you understand why that happened? Is it grooming? Did she ever like do anything major to like groom him and like try and train him to be her sexual toy the entire show? Absolutely not. There's one other indication that she's like doing something with that, and that's where she like tries to like touch his hand. That's also, I think, shown in End of Evangelion, but then doesn't act on it when he moves away. And it's not her trying to, like, prey on him or anything like that. It's her being like, this is how I understand. This is what makes me feel better when I'm, like, going through a lot of tough shit. Maybe it'll help him out, too.
She's a mother.
Which is a damn-ass liar. There were no car keys.
I mean, she's basically a mother. I mean, like, I didn't get any feeling that she was... I felt like she was trying to comfort him in that moment, and he just didn't want to be comforted.
Exactly.
I don't think that she was trying to do. Again, I'm just a man and I don't know a lot of things, but I just, from that point of view and like how their relationship has been the entire time, she has been a mother to those children the entire time.
I think that throwing all of that out in her entire character arc and the understanding of why she does like anything because you saw an out of context GIF on Twitter and you're just like, oh, so she's a child predator. It's like, you're a fucking moron. You're a fucking idiot.
And I was
but then, I'm just going to say, those same people then go and talk about Asuka and Rei at length about how hot they are. And they're both 14. But, I'm not even going to touch on that shit, you fucking creeps.
I was sitting there like, Masato's best. My whole time I was like, what the fuck is wrong with Masato? She's best girl. She, like, this is a whole lot
best girl.
There's a lot of women to work with, man. And then, just being like, I wonder what she does though, and then she doesn't really do anything, and I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
No, it's people. Good. People are blowing it out of the water.
No, Masato's great.
Massive degree.
I love Masato.
Like, okay, ranking best girl. Go.
For me.
Yeah.
Masato, Ritsuko, Asuka, Rei.
Yui.
You're including Ritsuko. Okay.
Yeah, I'm putting Ritsuko in there. She deserves some love.
She didn't get none from fucking Gendo, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. She was talking to the wrong man. I'm just playing, guys.
You love him, wife, not you. Cam?
Misato, Asuka, Rei, Ritsuko. I like Ritsuko. She just gets the least.
Yeah.
I thought that you had Rei higher than Asuka.
Eh.
He's thinking about it now. He's like, hold on.
Like
I need to find one of those Rei Fumos, by the way.
Yeah, I love Rey. She, I mean, a long time ago would have been like my number one, but just the characterization of Asuka is much better done.
I would agree with that. Jake?
Yui.
Oh, that's it.
Real.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
I would go Misato, Asuka, Rei, the girl whose name I don't remember who likes Ritsuko.
Oh, her like protege.
Her Kohai,
yeah.
who is super fucking cute. I love her so much. If there was merch of her, I would buy it.
She the one that was hiding under the desk at the end?
Yes. Her I didn't like. God, I didn't like any of that.
The death scenes of all three of them was so sad.
Yeah, and Glasses, Mr. Glasses, who loved Ritsuko.
Misato.
Or not, yeah, Masato. I'm like, yo, Masato. I was like, Masato's one of those girls who doesn't know, like, the dude that's, like, really good for her actually likes her. So she keeps going with Kaji. And I was like, oh, okay.
I think it's implied that she knows.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. She used him. She used him. God damn.
No, I think that he knew, too.
I think he liked it. Look, I think he enjoyed being used by the woman that he loved. Ain't nothing wrong with being used. Al Green said so.
Do what you get. Well, all right. Yeah. And then the other guy, I do know the other guy's name. His name's Alba, which
long hair.
The only reason
Cam?
I know that, long-haired dude.
Yeah, I just was like, this guy's
Cam.
He even dresses like Cam.
He dresses like Cam. He plays the guitar.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's fucking Cam. Awesome.
Yeah, that guy. The reason, apparently, because I was doing more research into that. So everybody around the world, when the instrumentality thing happened, like had a vision of somebody endearing to them show up so that they would be comforted at the very end. And that dude just had a bunch of rays showing up because he didn't love anybody.
What the fuck?
He was too nihilistic, which is why he was scared under the desk.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't sound like Cam. Just looks like him.
Yeah. Yeah, you know. Just thought I'd throw that out there. But, you know, I liked all those guys, all the senior nerve officers, what I think that they're officially listed as.
I believe that'd be right.
Masato, undeniably best girl, high and above everybody else. Just putting that out there. You heard it here first, folks. We support a groomer, apparently. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Anyway,
y'all leave Masato out of this.
No, she deserves the world and more. All right.
This is Cam
the world
every
that's
day.
left or the world that was.
There's Cam every day.
I want to see Rebuild because according to Cam, you said that they're a sequel.
Yeah.
Right.
They're viewed as a sequel.
So that means that. Yeah. So that means that they're done after instrumentality has occurred. Then, right?
Theoretically, it's like a different timeline of it, kind of.
Okay.
It's complicated, but it is a sequel.
Okay.
Because a lot of people try to say that it's like a retcon type situation, but it's not.
Well, it's not. It can't be a retcon if the original series still exists. It would just, yeah.
Yo, hold on. I'm pasting a picture. Somebody said, there's a Reddit thread, just image said, man, what the fuck is Shigeru Alba doing in Serial Experiments Lane?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it is him.
That's crazy.
I said, this man just can't escape.
He's stuck in all the bad timelines.
Like, fuck me. He's like, fuck my life. I'd hate to be this guy.
Yeah, right. Every timeline, you're stuck in a new psychological. We're gonna watch Paranoia Agent. He's gonna show up. Be on the lookout for Alba and Paranoia Agent.
That's so funny, man.
I'm excited for Rebuild. I like the. I don't know. The ending filled me with hope. I feel like that's a world that can recover from what happened. It's just gonna take some time.
All right. What are we rating it? Me?
10.
Big 10, baby. It's Big 10.
I would give it an 11. It's a 10.
I also give it a 10.
It's so good.
Give it an 8.2.
Oh, fuck
All
this
right.
guy.
I'm kidding. I just wanted to throw something realistic sounding out there. I would say I struggle paying attention to anything, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah, we
found
know.
myself actually locked in for a lot of this, so I think that speaks levels. I mean, especially the movie. The movie really like hooked me, and especially once the action started, I was just like, I felt like I was looking into a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
And like that in terms of like how memorable that's gonna be, like I'm always gonna remember, like even if not in great detail, just the feeling I had watching that, and then like remembering all the little building pieces that were like drip fed to us throughout the episodes building up to that. I'm always gonna remember that as like, that writing was insane, the music was insane, the like huge moments were insane, the animation, everything. And I think for that, like, yeah, I'll give it a 10.
We haven't even talked about how that theme song is like one of the most iconic,
yeah.
probably the most iconic anime song to ever exist.
Like I've always known that tune, even when I didn't know what it was to. Like,
Yeah. Oh, and that song, the beginning of the song has like the chorus or whatever, like in the background, like doing like vocals or going ah. You can hear the same fucking like vocals happening in the ending song of
There's so much.
Yeah,
There's so much more I want to talk about with this show. Just like even like the scene where Asuka gets like mind broken and they decide to put fucking Hallelujah over it, like an orchestral like normal
like what?
version of Hallelujah. I sang that song.
How old is this series?
29.
29 years old today.
Dude, it's as old. It's a year older than me.
I'm 2 months older than Evangelion.
Damn.
You lived in a non-Eva world. How did it feel?
Well, let me tell you about the first impact. Little shits.
So we got a 10.
Jake is Adam.
Fuck.
Draw all of your fan art of Jake as Adam, but with a pompadour and a black hat.
Yep.
Make me look like Shiv from Deadlock.
All right. So I guess that concludes this season. Damn.
Yeah.
What the hell?
The season concludes next episode when we do the seasonal wrap up. But we got through it, guys.
Yeah. Wow.
A full thing of an anime podcast.
Now
How'd
no
you
one can
guys
say
enjoy it?
we don't follow through.
Yeah. So get ready for season 2. We'll be selling out completely. We'll have Raid Shadow things and gamer ups and
guys, when's the podcast? When are we doing that?
hey guys, when are we doing the podcast?
I'll
We
kill
finally
you.
did it. Again, this predates me. This joke predates me, but here I am.
You're on the podcast.
Yeah.
Jordan, I don't think this predates you at all.
yes, it
I think
does.
we started the talk of like, yo, we got
No,
like
it
this whole
predates
new
him.
set of people.
Oh
It
no,
predates-
it
It does.
100% predates
Yeah.
me, man.
100%.
Well,
We've
I
been talking
know,
about doing a podcast.
I know
since, like,
us talking about
2019.
yeah, I know us talking about the woodshed,
The Woodshed Radio.
the woodshed radio. Podcast.
No, it's definitely we were making that
Oh.
same joke though. When I lived in
Even
Utah,
before Woodshed. Yeah.
and I left Utah in 2020.
I always thought it was because like once we got him, Sam, and like everyone, we were just like, yo, we got quite a group of characters.
You started doing it again because you were like, oh, there was this podcast I wanted to do, but now everybody's gone, so I got to do it now, man. So
They
how
all
about you
they all
guys?
turned into orange soup and became one.
Yeah. Also, Jake, I did totally
down.
off topic. I do have your Steam pulled up because I wanted to make that joke earlier about your Risk of Rain hours. The real joke is your Dead by Daylight hours.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, God.
Motherfucker
Hit us
out
with
here
it.
with 874 hours in Dead by Daylight.
It's not even that many compared to some of the sweats on that game. I play it here and there.
Yeah.
Some of the sweats on that game have like 4,000 hours, and there's 4 of them going against me when I play Killer.
Yeah, I
When
know. I
instrumentality
think that's
happens,
fucking hilarious.
The DBD killers are gonna come for Jake because that's the only thing he ever loved.
God.
And no, he has more hours on
Horrible
GTA.
idea.
So
How many do I have?
1,300.
Chase will argue that is me just sitting in the main menu.
I would argue that. Because you're
I
peeing
would
all the
argue it
time.
too.
Because you're peeing and you're getting
I
Arizona's-
am peeing for at least 600
You
of
did
those logged hours.
you surpassed your Risk of Rain 2 hours with Pal World.
Did I really?
Motherfucker, how many hours did you put into Power
It's because
World?
Pal World just requires you to sit there and grind over and over, where
Yeah.
Risk of Rain is like, you get a few good runs in and you're happy with it and you close out.
Pal World, he has
Enough, enough, let's
158.
wrap
Risk
up
of Rain,
this
he has
podcast.
145. Yeah. No, Klidge is right.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I love
Yeah.
Risk of Rain. It just wasn't for me.
All right.
Kill you.
Anyway, so for those of you at home, there will be a seasonal wrap up that we're going to do for the next episode. So no spinning the wheel. We have the new wheel already. We have all the ideas that we're going to put onto it. In fact, we may have already picked what our next thing is going to be. It's a secret though.
I've seen the wheel.
But it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool stuff. So if you'd like to look forward to season 2 of the podcast, try and support us at nostalgiapile at spotify.com.
Yes, please.
And we've been your hosts. I don't know. Final thoughts on Eva. Fucking just watch it.
Yeah, masterpiece.
Go
It is a
watch
work
it.
of art.
Let it speak for itself.
Yeah.
Yo,
Like,
I'm about to buy some figures, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all better watch this shit.
For real. I bought one. It's only from Rebuild, not the OG series, but yeah.
You can
I
get
need-
one at
I need to
Walmart
find
for
an Eva hoodie.
$30. It's
Yeah.
Asuka on the beach. Oh, don't go get that one. Wait a minute. Yeah, don't get that one. Don't get that one.
Oh, don't go get that one.
Don't get that one. Don't get that one. Don't get that one.
There's a lot of for some reason, it's one of those things I don't understand with like the figures. They like take these characters that have never felt comfort once in their life and put them in like the beach setting in a swimsuit. I'm like, these characters would not do this.
Oh,
They would be
I want
like-
to see
weren't-
guts on the beach.
She wasn't in the beach. Her clothes were just being ripped, and I was like, oh, her like suit was being ripped, and I was like, don't get that one. Get a different one.
Stop.
Find
There
something
was
else.
God. When I was buying figures yesterday, there was a $220 Unit 1 figure that was huge, and it was awesome. And I was like, I want this, but then if I move, I have to ship it, and that bitch is gonna suck to ship.
I mean, it's fine. We have a 1/8 scale Froppy figure from My Hero,
Oh my
and
god,
she
She's
is
so fucking cute.
big.
I got this giant ass Broly 1/8, bro. He's huge. Y'all seen that
Let's
one?
see it.
Jesus
That
Christ.
Broly?
Yeah,
Hold
I've
on.
seen it.
Jake
Yeah,
hasn't
I wanna
seen
Save
it
that
yet.
for once we wrap this up. We need to wrap this shit up.
He's
Oh my!
fucking
Oh,
dead,
I've seen
man.
that one.
He's fucking
I've seen that
huge.
one. I almost
He's
bought that
huge.
at this one place
He's
at the
so
mall near
cheap
me.
though. It's like $50, man.
Yeah.
I was like,
Froppy
this
was
is a
not cheap.
steal.
Good.
Froppy was like 160, I think.
That's fucking crazy. This one is. This
What is
one's
that,
so
vinyl,
nice.
ceramic?
It's
No, it's
huge.
like
I don't know what these
fucking
things are made of.
ceramic, but like it feels good and it's detailed so well. I don't know, bro. He's massive. He also
So
weighs.
someone draw a fan art
couple
of
pounds.
Jordan feeling up Broly's chest with.
I-
It feels good.
I love
Do
this
that.
man. I love this man.
Send it to us.
I love this man.
Send it to his stream at Kitsukatu on twitch.tv.
Me and Broly are kindred spirits.
Yeah, if that's what you want to call it.
Shut
How?
up, Jake. Tired of you, man. God.
I'm just saying.
All right.
Fuck.
well,
God damn
sorry.
it. We're done here.
I've been
Say
Cam.
goodbye.
I've been Cam. You can find me at Anarchy Killjoy on Twitch and Twitter.
Yeah.
I've
I'm Klidge. You
been-
can find me at Klidge
Oh.
Radio on Twitch or at Klidge on YouTube. Alternatively, Sventarian on Twitter.
Sventarian.
I've been Jordan. You can find me on twitch.tv/Kitsukatu.
Twitch.tv/Jordan. And last,
I'm Jake. You can find me at
that's great.
Sinwalker.
All right.
Hey, you fucker. You can find me at Sinwalker Art on Twitter. Don't call it
All
X.
right.
Twitter.
So thank you guys so much for joining us for the technically like the final episode of us watching anime for this season, and we'll hopefully catch you guys in season 2. Come check us out. Peace out, fellas.
Peace out.
Bye bye.